Taking you back to March and the Camp Ryan, and was that
Camp Falcons?
Okay, was that money well spent? And do you see any impact of that now?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of value to that. You know, for me, it was an opportunity. We had a lot of new guys in our building. You know, and younger guys. And I feel like developing close relationships and getting to know each other personally and professionally is really important to creating an atmosphere in a building, you know, that is conducive to winning. And so I thought that was a really good start, a really good kickoff to our season. And you know, I feel like guys had the opportunity to get to know me. Some of the younger guys maybe get to know me a little bit better. I got the opportunity to get to know them a little bit better, and I think that's helped us develop a closeness and a bond that has been really strong the entire year.
That kind of stuff is something that Julio talked to me about. He said that when he was, you know, just coming in, that you took him over to your house, went over the playbook with him. Can you talk about how your relationship with him has just developed over the years?
Yeah, who's one of the best guys to be around? But yeah, for sure. When he first got here, he got drafted the year we got locked out, and so it was a unique opportunity to kind of get to know him outside of the facility. And you know, that was a unique year for all of us. We were practicing at Buford High School, and you know, going out and going through things there. And afterwards, we would go work out together and come over to the house and, you know, go through some things, but also just get to know him. And he's such a fun guy to be around. He likes to have a good time, and he prepares so hard. But he and I have a great relationship, and certainly been thankful that we traded those picks to get him, and he's been a part of our organization for a long time.
Matt, so is there any extra type of excitement playing a guy like Aaron Rodgers, and this being a matchup of two of this season's best quarterbacks?
Yeah, you know, I think you know, I don't specifically have to go out on the field and defend Aaron, which is a good thing for us. But you know, it's fun. I've played against him a number of times, and I've gotten to know him throughout the years. And he's a good friend, and I respect him so much because he's such a great competitor. Regardless of the situation, he goes out there and he competes hard and plays really well week in and week out. And he's had an unbelievable year. But for me, you know, I think, you know, once we get into it, it's about, you know, trying to do the best we can against their defense, and, you know, focusing on how well we can play. And at the end of the day, that's where my focus will be at on Sunday.
Man, as a quarterback, are you sometimes amazed though at some of the plays he can make, kind of like last week, or just some of the things he can occasionally do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he makes a lot of really good plays, and he's been doing it, you know, not just last week. I mean, he's been doing it for his entire career. He's a great player. There's no question about it, and has made some great plays throughout his career.
I know you probably, I don't know if you've heard, this might be a little bit of a storyline this week, that of the last four quarterbacks, you're the only one who doesn't have a Super Bowl title yet. I know, let's just go ahead and get the legacy question out of the way, though. What would it mean to you to do this? And does a guy to truly be remembered as a great quarterback have to win a Super Bowl, or at least get to a Super Bowl?
I mean, I don't know. It's not really for me to decide. I don't think about it all that much. I think, you know, one thing I've learned throughout my career is that if you sit there and you're worrying about all these things that don't make a difference for this week, your focus is not where it should be. And you know, will it be nice to do that? All of those things that you mentioned, absolutely. But it's not going to help us, you know, Sunday. And at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is trying to focus all my energy and my, you know, mental preparation towards what's going to have us play our best Sunday. So I don't think about those things all that often, and certainly not this, you know, this time of the year.
Matt, sorry, another big picture, but slightly smaller picture question. Tony Gonzalez was saying yesterday, after we talked about you coming back off last year, he talked about his second year in the league, how it was an awful year. He led the league in drops and all this stuff, and that it really kind of caused him to go back and not completely change everything he did, but look at everything, look under every stone, whatever. And he thinks that you might have done the same thing after last season. Can you just talk about your growth as a quarterback from after last season and what you changed and what it did for you?
Yeah, certainly, and I've talked to Tony about that a lot. I mean, Tony's one of the most open and honest people that you'll ever get to know, and he's one of my great friends, and I lean on him for advice a lot. And one of the things that he talked about coming back from that second year was, sometimes you try and do everything and too much, and it can wear at you and make you unproductive. And so it's finding the right balance, striking the right balance of what works for you specifically. And I think that was one of the things I always respected about Tony the most, was I think he was probably one of the best people that I've ever seen that knew what it took for himself to get ready week in and week out. And he was really, I don't know what the right word, he was really over the top about it too. He really stuck to it and was, kind of insane about like his preparation and how he got ready and what he did. And I always feel like that struck me as, man, I gotta find that right mix for me. And that's been a process that I think I've tried to go through, for the last 9 years of trying to find, what helps me get my best. And I feel like my process this year has been really, really good.
Beyond obviously getting used to skiing last year, was there anything else that you looked at in terms of things you thought you had to do? Or?
Yeah, sometimes I think it's never as far as, it's never as good, it's never as bad. I think that's one of the things people say all the time. And I think that, there were some really good things last year, but there were some things that we just needed to clean up and find ways to clean them up. And I think we've done that. I think we've found a way to clean up some of the mistakes that we made, whether it be in the red zone or turnovers, etc. And we've been much better at that this year.
How long does it take in this league, and I'll ask you personally, to know that it's time to put it down, go to bed, it's time that today's work is done? Is that something that you do have to learn as much as the physical part of this stuff?
Absolutely. I think that's really, really important. Trying to find that right balance of, over-prepared, underworked, and then there's just right. And you need to find what's just right for you. And it's different for everyone. It's different for everyone. And so my personality naturally is to try and do more. And that doesn't always help you. And I think, I don't know specifically when you figure that out. I think it's different at different times in your career. Just like anybody, some days you feel different than you do, and we're no different in that respect. So you kind of have to have a feel for how you are at this time and what's going to work for you at that time.
So, speaking of your growth as a quarterback, during training camp, so you told me that bringing in the new wide receivers and being able to have some variety offensively that would help you. So, looking back on it now, how do you think having guys like Aldrich and Taylor and Muhammad, how do you think that's helped you personally?
I think it's huge. I think we talk in our locker room all the time that we're all an extension of one another. And when you add players like Mohamed Sanu, Aldrich Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, you look at what Justin Hardy's done for us as he's made plays throughout the year. You rely so much on other guys in this game, and it's the ultimate team sport. And I'm surrounded by as good a group as you could ask for. We've got diversity at the wide receiver position. We've got Julio, who is big, strong, fast, does everything. We've got Gabe, who can stretch the field vertically. Aldrich can do the same thing. Muhammad is a third down machine for us, does a great job of moving the chains. And Justin Hardy's kind of the jack of all trades. He comes in and whatever we ask him to do, whether it's block, run, catch, he does everything for us. So, I think our offense and our team has really been sparked by that wide receiver position. I think those guys have done a great job for us.
Matt, I know that your relationship with Kyle kind of goes beyond X's and O's, and obviously a lot of people around the league have been talking about him, believe reports that he's 49ers are interested in him. Do you guys ever talk about that? I know you're obviously very focused on this game Sunday, but away from that X's and O's, do you offer advice? Do you talk about that kind of what would be a big professional step for him?
Not really. I think our